Good evening. Tonight, you'll discover the extraordinary machine that carries you through life, how your heart beats without you thinking, and how trillions of cells work in perfect harmony while you sleep. 100 facts about the human body that will guide you into the most peaceful sleep. But first, if you want more journeys like this, subscribe to the channel and leave a like right now, because in just a few minutes, you'll be too relaxed to move. Now then, make yourself comfortable. Let your body sink into your bed. Close your eyes. Tonight I invite you on a journey through the miracle of human biology, through systems that work tirelessly, through processes so elegant, they seem almost magical. 100 remarkable facts, told slowly, gently, without haste. You don't need to remember them. You don't need to analyze them. Just listen and let these words become part of your dreams. Breathe evenly, deeply, and we begin. Your body contains approximately 37 trillion cells. 37 trillion. That's 37,000 billion individual living units. Each one a microscopic factory. Each one performing its own specialized task. If you tried to count them, one per second, it would take you over 1 million years. Right now, as you lie there, trillions of cells are working, sending signals, building proteins, repairing damage, all without you ever noticing. They are the silent workers, the invisible architects of everything you are. Every minute, your body creates about 300 million new cells. 300 million. While you breathe, while you rest, while you sleep, your body is constantly rebuilding itself. Old cells die, new cells are born. It's a dance of creation and destruction, happening in every moment. Some cells live for decades. Brain cells, nerve cells in your eyes, they can last your entire lifetime. But others live only for days. The cells lining your stomach, replaced every few days. Skin cells, constantly being renewed. You are not the same person you were 7 years ago. Not literally. Almost every cell in your body has been replaced since then. You are continuously becoming someone new. Your DNA, if stretched out, would reach from Earth to the Sun and back about 100 times. Inside each cell, coiled tightly, is about 2 meters of DNA. Multiply that by 37 trillion cells, and you get a length almost impossible to comprehend. This DNA, this molecule of heredity, contains the instructions for building you. Every protein, every enzyme, every structure in your body, encoded in a sequence of chemical letters. 4 simple letters, A, T, C, and G, arranged in specific patterns, like a language written in chemistry. And from this language emerges consciousness, thought, memory, love. Remarkable, isn't it? Your brain contains approximately 86 billion neurons. 86 billion. Each one connected to thousands of others, creating a network of staggering complexity. If you were to count all the connections, all the synapses between neurons, you'd reach about 100 trillion. 100 trillion points of communication. 100 trillion places where thoughts can form. Memories can be stored. Ideas can be born. Right now, even as you rest, your neurons are firing, creating patterns, waves of electrical activity, washing through your brain like tides. These patterns are your thoughts, your dreams, your very consciousness. You are, in a very real sense, electricity thinking about itself. Every second, your bone marrow produces about 2 million red blood cells. 2 million. Every single second, day and night, without pause, without rest. Your bone marrow is one of the most productive tissues in your body, a factory that never closes, never takes a holiday. These red blood cells, tiny discs without nuclei, will travel through your bloodstream for about 120 days, carrying oxygen, removing carbon dioxide, and then, worn out, they'll be broken down, recycled, their components used to build new cells. Nothing in your body is wasted. Everything is used again. Your heart beats about 100,000 times per day, 100,000 contractions, pumping blood, keeping you alive, all without you ever thinking about it. Over a lifetime of 70 years, that's about 2.5 billion heartbeats, 2.5 billion moments where your heart squeezes and pushes blood through 70,000 miles of blood vessels. Your heart, about the size of your fist, is the hardest working muscle in your body. It begins beating before you're born, at about 3 weeks after conception, and doesn't stop until your final moment. It deserves some appreciation, don't you think? Let your breathing slow now. Feel your heartbeat, steady, reliable, always there. You have about 60,000 miles of blood vessels in your body. 60,000 miles. That's enough to circle the earth 2.5 times. Arteries, veins, capillaries so small, you'd need a microscope to see them, all woven throughout your body, bringing oxygen and nutrients to every cell, carrying away waste. The smallest capillaries are so narrow that a red blood cells must squeeze through single file, one at a time, like passengers through a turnstile. Yet this system, this vast network, works flawlessly. Blood flows, pressure is maintained, temperature is regulated, all automatically, all without your conscious effort. Your eyes can distinguish about 10 million different colors, 10 million shades and hues, from the deep crimson of a sunset to the pale blue of a winter sky. Light enters your eyes, passes through the lens, and strikes the retina at the back, where specialized cells called cones detect color. You have 3 types of cones, one sensitive to red light, one to green, one to blue, and from these 3, your brain constructs the entire rainbow of human experience. Every painting you've admired, every flower you've noticed, every face you've remembered, all built from combinations of these 3 signals. The human eye can detect a single photon of light. A single photon, the smallest possible unit of light. One quantum arriving from a distant star can trigger a response in your retina. Of course, one photon isn't enough to create conscious vision. Your brain requires about 5 to 7 photons, arriving at roughly the same time before you perceive a flash. But still, the sensitivity is extraordinary. Your eyes are nearly as sensitive as physics allows. On a perfectly dark night, you could see a candle flame from 30 miles away. Interesting, isn't it? Your nose can detect about 1 trillion different smells. 1 trillion. Far more than anyone expected. For years, scientists thought it was only about 10,000, but recent research suggests the number is vastly higher. Every breath you take carries molecules into your nose. These molecules bind to receptors, about 400 different types of receptors, each sensitive to different chemical structures. And from the pattern of which receptors are activated, your brain constructs the smell, the scent of rain on dry earth, fresh bread baking, a loved one's perfume. Smell is the most ancient sense, the most direct pathway to memory and emotion. A single scent can transport you instantly to a moment decades ago. Your tongue has about 10,000 taste buds, but taste, as you experience it, is not created by your tongue alone. Most of what you think of as taste is actually smell. Your tongue detects 5 basic tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami, a savory, meaty taste. Just 5. Everything else, all the complexity of flavor, comes from your nose, from the molecules that drift up the back of your throat into your nasal cavity while you eat. This is why, when you have a cold, food tastes bland. Your tongue still works, but without smell, flavor disappears. Your ears can hear sounds ranging from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. 20 Hz, a deep rumble, felt as much as heard. 20,000 Hz, a high-pitched whistle at the edge of perception. Between these extremes lies the world of sound, speech, music, laughter, the rustle of leaves, the patter of rain. Sound waves enter your ear, travel down the ear canal, vibrate the eardrum. These vibrations pass through 3 tiny bones, the smallest bones in your body, and into the cochlea. The cochlea, a spiral chamber filled with fluid, contains about 15,000 hair cells. When the fluid moves, these hair cells bend, and that bending creates electrical signals sent to your brain, interpreted as sound. 15,000 hair cells, allowing you to hear a whisper, a symphony, a voice saying, "I love you." Your skin is your largest organ. In an adult, skin covers about 20 square feet and weighs about 8 pounds, 1/6 of your total body weight. But skin is not simple. It's a complex barrier, protecting you from the world. Waterproof, flexible, self-repairing. Your skin contains millions of nerve endings, detecting pressure, temperature, pain, vibration. Every sensation you've ever felt began with these nerves. A gentle touch, a warm bath, the softness of cotton sheets, all translated by your skin into electrical signals, and your brain interprets these signals, creates your experience of the physical world. You take about 20,000 breaths per day, 20,000 times. Your diaphragm contracts, your lungs expand, air rushes in. Oxygen from that air diffuses into your bloodstream. Carbon dioxide diffuses out. A simple exchange happening in millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. If you spread out all the alveoli in your lungs, they'd cover a tennis court, about 70 square meters of surface area, all packed into your chest. Right now, as you lie there, this exchange is happening automatically, effortlessly. You don't need to think about breathing, but you can. If you choose, you can hold your breath, speed it up, slow it down. Breathing is both voluntary and involuntary, under your control and beyond it. Let your breath deepen now. Feel the air, cool as it enters, warm as it leaves. Your lungs contain about 300 million alveoli, 300 million tiny balloons, each one surrounded by capillaries, each one a site of gas exchange. When you breathe deeply, your lungs can hold about 6 liters of air, but you don't use all of it. Most of the time, you breathe in only about half a liter. This is called tidal volume, the normal breath, the unconscious rhythm of life. But your lungs are capable of so much more. Athletes can breathe in 10 liters or more, expanding their chests, filling every alveolus. Your body has reserves, capacities you rarely use, potential waiting to be discovered. Your liver performs over 500 different functions. 500. It filters your blood, produces bile, stores vitamins, regulates blood sugar, breaks down toxins. Your liver, weighing about 3 pounds, is one of the most versatile organs in your body, a chemical factory of extraordinary sophistication. And here's something remarkable. Your liver can regenerate. If you removed 75% of it, the remaining portion would grow back. In a few months, you'd have a full liver again. It's one of the few organs with this ability, this power of renewal. Ancient Greeks knew about this. In their mythology, Prometheus was punished by having his liver eaten by an eagle. Every day and every night, it would grow back. They couldn't have known how accurate that myth was. Your stomach produces about 2 liters of gastric juice every day, 2 liters of hydrochloric acid, strong enough to dissolve metal, potent enough to kill most bacteria. Yet your stomach doesn't digest itself. Why not? Because your stomach lining produces a thick layer of mucus. This mucus protects the cells beneath, creates a barrier between the acid and the tissue. Even so, the cells of your stomach lining are replaced every few days, constantly renewed, constantly sacrificed and rebuilt. Digestion is a violent process, breaking down food, extracting nutrients. It requires strong forces, strong chemicals, and your body handles it all with elegant efficiency. Your small intestine is about 20 feet long, 20 feet, coiled and folded to fit inside your abdomen. Its inner surface is not smooth. It's covered with millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. These villi increase the surface area enormously. If you flattened out your small intestine, it would cover about 250 square feet, about the size of a tennis court. All that surface area for absorption, for pulling nutrients from your food, amino acids, sugars, fats, vitamins, all passing through the intestinal wall into your bloodstream. Digestion takes hours. Food entering your stomach won't leave your body for 24 to 72 hours. A slow journey through darkness, transformed along the way. Your kidneys filter about 200 liters of blood every day. 200 liters, about 50 gallons, all passing through 2 organs, each about the size of a fist. Your kidneys are filters. They remove waste, balance electrolytes, regulate blood pressure, control the production of red blood cells. Inside each kidney are about 1 million nephrons, microscopic filtering units, each one a tiny chemical factory. Blood enters. Waste and excess water are removed. The clean blood returns to circulation. The waste becomes urine. It's a continuous process. Every minute, about 1 liter of blood flows through your kidneys, being cleaned, being balanced. Your body maintaining itself, keeping everything in perfect equilibrium. You produce about 1 to 2 liters of urine per day, but that can vary depending on what you drink, what you eat, how much you sweat. Your urine is mostly water, about 95%. The rest is dissolved waste, urea, creatinine, salts. Ancient physicians would examine urine, taste it, smell it, looking for signs of disease. Sweet-tasting urine meant diabetes. Cloudy urine meant infection. They didn't understand why, but they recognized patterns. The body speaks through its waste, tells stories to those who know how to listen. You have 206 bones in your body, at least as an adult. When you were born, you had about 300. Many of them were cartilage, soft, flexible. As you grew, many of these bones fused together, becoming harder, stronger, the soft spots on a baby's skull. Close over time, separate bones become one. By your 20s, the fusion is complete. 206 bones forming your skeleton, the framework that holds you upright, that protects your organs, that allows you to move. Your bones are stronger than steel, pound for pound. Steel is strong, but steel is also dense, heavy. Your bones are light, porous, filled with marrow, yet a bone the same weight as a steel bar can withstand more force, more pressure. It's the structure, the microscopic architecture that makes the difference. Inside your bones are layers, columns, struts, like the framework of a bridge, designed by evolution to be strong where strength is needed, light where weight matters. Your femur, the thigh bone, is the longest and strongest bone in your body. It can support about 30 times your body weight. Remarkable engineering, wouldn't you say? You have more than 600 muscles in your body. 600. From the tiny muscles that move your eyes to the large muscles that move your legs. Muscles work by contracting, pulling. They can only pull, never push, so they work in pairs. One contracts while the other relaxes. Your bicep contracts to bend your arm. Your tricep contracts to straighten it. Back and forth, a dance of tension and release. And all this controlled by your nervous system. Signals traveling from your brain, down your spinal cord, out to every muscle. Move your finger, wiggle your toes. Each tiny movement requires dozens of muscles, coordinated perfectly, timed to the millisecond. You don't think about it, you just do it. Your body knows how. The strongest muscle in your body, relative to its size, is your masseter, your jaw muscle, the one you use for chewing. It can exert a force of about 200 pounds. On your molars, 200 pounds, enough to crush bone, to grind tough meat, to crack nuts. Our ancestors needed strong jaws. They ate raw food, tough roots, uncooked meat. Their masseter muscles were even stronger than ours. But we, with our cooked food, our soft diets, don't need that strength anymore. Our jaws have weakened over millennia. Evolution is always at work, adapting us to our environment, slowly, over countless generations. Your tongue is not the strongest muscle in your body, despite what you may have heard. That's a myth. The tongue is strong, flexible, incredibly mobile, but not the strongest. Your tongue is actually a group of muscles, 8 of them, working together, allowing you to speak, to taste, to swallow. Without your tongue, you couldn't form words, couldn't eat properly, couldn't kiss. It's one of the most versatile structures in your body, essential to so much of what makes us human. Your skeleton is not permanent. It's constantly being rebuilt, broken down and reconstructed. Cells called osteoclasts dissolve old bone. Cells called osteoblasts build new bone. Every 10 years, you have almost entirely new skeleton. Your bones today are not the bones you had a decade ago. This process allows your bones to repair themselves, to heal fractures, to adapt to stress. If you exercise, put weight on your bones, they become denser, stronger. If you don't, they weaken, become brittle. Your body responds to how you use it, adapts to your needs, use it or lose it. A truth written in your very bones. Your endocrine system produces more than 50 different hormones, 50 chemical messengers traveling through your bloodstream, carrying signals, triggering responses. Hormones control growth, metabolism, mood, sleep, reproduction, appetite, almost every function in your body. They work slowly. Unlike nerve signals, which are fast, hormones take time, minutes, hours, sometimes days, but their effects last longer. They change how your cells behave, what genes they express, what proteins they make. Your body is a symphony of chemical signals, a constant conversation between organs, between systems. Your thyroid gland controls your metabolism. This small gland, shaped like a butterfly, sits at the base of your neck, and despite its size, it has enormous influence. It produces thyroid hormone. This hormone tells your cells how fast to work, how much energy to use, how much heat to generate. Too much, and you feel anxious. Your heart races. You lose weight. Too little, and you feel tired, sluggish. You gain weight, just right, and you don't notice it at all. Everything works smoothly, effortlessly. Balance is everything. Your pancreas produces insulin. Insulin is a hormone that controls blood sugar. After you eat, sugar enters your bloodstream. Insulin allows your cells to absorb that sugar, to use it for energy. Without insulin, sugar accumulates in your blood. This is diabetes, a condition where the body can't regulate sugar properly. Your pancreas is both an endocrine organ and a digestive organ. It produces hormones and digestive enzymes. Tucked away behind your stomach, small, unassuming, yet absolutely essential, your adrenal glands produce adrenaline. Adrenaline, the hormone of excitement, of fear, of fight or flight. When you're startled, your adrenal glands release adrenaline. Your heart pounds, your breathing quickens, your pupils dilate, blood flows to your muscles. You become more alert, stronger, faster, ready to run or to fight. This response saved our ancestors' lives when they faced predators, when danger appeared suddenly. We don't face those dangers anymore, but our bodies still react the same way. To a loud noise, a sudden movement, a stressful situation, ancient mechanisms still at work. Your pineal gland produces melatonin. Melatonin, the hormone of sleep, the chemical that tells your body it's time to rest. As darkness falls, your pineal gland begins to produce melatonin. It accumulates in your bloodstream, makes you drowsy, prepares you for sleep. In the morning, when light hits your eyes, melatonin production stops. You wake up, alert again. This cycle is your circadian rhythm, your internal clock, synchronized to the rising and setting of the sun. Right now, melatonin is flowing through your veins, telling your cells, it's time to rest. Listen to it. Let it work. Let yourself drift. Your immune system can recognize billions of different pathogens. Billions. Every virus, every bacteria, every fungus that might invade your body. How? Your immune cells produce antibodies, proteins shaped to fit specific invaders. And through a process of random generation and selection, your body creates antibodies for threats it's never even encountered. It's like having billions of keys, waiting for locks that don't exist yet. And when an invader appears, the right key is already there. Extraordinary when you think about it. You have trillions of bacteria living in your body. Trillions. Mostly in your gut. These bacteria are not invaders. They're allies, partners. They help you digest food, produce vitamins, train your immune system, protect you from harmful bacteria. You are not just human. You are an ecosystem, a community of trillions of organisms working together. This is called your microbiome, and scientists are only beginning to understand how important it is, how much it affects your health, your mood, even your behavior. You are never truly alone. Trillions of microscopic companions live within you, part of you, yet not you. Your white blood cells patrol your body constantly, like security guards, moving through your bloodstream, crawling through your tissues, looking for trouble. When they find an invader, they attack. Some white blood cells engulf the invader, swallow it whole. Others release chemicals that destroy it. Your white blood cells can leave your bloodstream, squeeze between the cells of blood vessel walls, enter infected tissue, fight where they're needed most. They die by the millions, every day, sacrificing themselves to keep you healthy. The pus in an infected wound is mostly dead white blood cells, warriors who gave their lives in your defense. When you cut yourself, clotting begins within seconds. Platelets, tiny cell fragments, rush to the site. They stick together, form a plug, then a cascade of chemical reactions. One protein activating another, which activates another, like dominoes falling. The end result is fibrin, long strands of protein that weave through the platelet plug, creating a mesh, a net that traps blood cells, forms a clot. The bleeding stops, the wound is sealed, and beneath this scab, the real work begins. Cells multiplying, tissue regenerating. Slowly, the wound closes. Your body knows how to heal itself. Given time, it repairs almost any damage. Your skin completely regenerates every 28 days. Every month, you have new skin. The old skin flakes off, falls away. Most of the dust in your home is dead skin cells. About 30 to 40,000 cells fall from your skin every minute. Every minute. Right now, as you lie there, you're shedding, but you don't notice because new cells are always being made, pushing up from below, replacing what's lost. Renewal is constant. Your body is never static, always changing, always becoming. Your fingernails grow about 1/10 of a millimeter per day, slowly, steadily, without pause. In a year, they'll grow about 3 to 4 centimeters. Your toenails grow more slowly, about half the rate of fingernails. Nails are made of keratin, the same protein as hair, dead cells, compressed and hardened, pushed forward by living cells beneath. If you lost a fingernail, it would take about 6 months to grow back. A toenail, 12 to 18 months. Your body is patient, rebuilding in its own time. Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, but uses 20% of your energy, 2% of your mass, 20% of your calories. Your brain is expensive, energetically costly. Even at rest, even when you're sleeping, your brain is active, consuming glucose, generating heat. Thinking is hard work, not just mentally, physically, at the cellular level. This is why, when you're mentally exhausted, you feel physically tired. Your brain has depleted your energy reserves. Information in your brain travels at speeds up to 270 miles per hour. 270 miles per hour, faster than a race car. Nerve signals, racing along axons, jumping from cell to cell. The fastest signals are carried by thick axons, wrapped in myelin, a fatty insulation that speeds transmission. The slowest signals travel about 2 miles per hour, still faster than you walk, but thousands of times slower than the fastest. Different types of information travel at different speeds. Pain signals travel relatively slowly, touch signals much faster. This is why, when you stub your toe, you feel the impact before you feel the pain. Two different signals arriving at different times. Your brain generates about 23 watts of power. 23 watts, enough to power a dim light bulb. All that thinking, all that processing, produces electricity. If you could harness it, well, you couldn't run much, but it's still remarkable. Your thoughts are electrical storms, cascading through networks of neurons. Every memory you form, every decision you make, every emotion you feel, all electrical patterns, ephemeral, fleeting, and yet From these patterns emerges you, your consciousness, your sense of self. How that happens remains one of the great mysteries. How does electricity become experience? You have different types of memory: short-term memory, long-term memory, procedural memory, episodic memory. Each type stored in different parts of your brain. Short-term memory holds information for seconds to minutes. A phone number you just heard, what you were about to say. Long-term memory can last a lifetime. Your childhood home, your first kiss, important moments encoded permanently. Procedural memory is memory of skills. How to ride a bike, how to tie your shoes. You can't explain it in words. Your body just knows. An episodic memory is memory of events, experiences, stories from your life. All these types weaving together, creating your personal history, your narrative, the story of who you are. Your brain can store the equivalent of about 2.5 petabytes of information. 2.5 petabytes, that's about 3 million hours of television, or enough to hold about 300 years of continuous video. Of course, your brain doesn't store information like a computer. Memories are not files, they're patterns, connections between neurons, and memories change over time. Every time you recall a memory, you reconstruct it, and in that reconstruction, details can shift, change, even false elements can be introduced. Your memory is not a perfect recording. It's a story, edited and revised with each retelling. But that's not a weakness, it's a feature. It allows you to extract meaning, to find patterns, to learn from the past. You forget most of what you experience. Most, the vast majority, only a tiny fraction of what you see, hear, and feel is ever encoded into long-term memory. And that's good. If you remembered everything, your mind would be cluttered, overwhelmed, unable to distinguish important from trivial. Forgetting is essential. It allows you to focus, to prioritize, to let go of what doesn't matter. The memories you keep are the ones that mean something, that connect to other memories, that tell a story. Everything else fades away, like dreams upon waking. Your brain has no pain receptors, none. You can't feel your brain. Neurosurgeons can operate on a conscious patient's brain, and the patient feels nothing. Headaches don't come from your brain. They come from blood vessels, muscles, membranes around your brain, but not the brain itself. Your brain is insensate. It processes pain signals from your body, but it cannot feel its own pain. Strange, isn't it? The organ that creates all feeling cannot feel itself. 99.9% of your DNA is identical to every other human's. 99.9%. We are remarkably similar. At the genetic level, that last 0.1% contains all the variation, all the diversity, different eye colors, different heights, different susceptibilities to disease. But fundamentally, we are the same, built from the same blueprint. Variations on a theme. You share about 98.8% of your DNA with chimpanzees. 98.8%. Our closest living relatives. The genetic difference is tiny, yet from that tiny difference comes language, abstract thought, art, music, everything that makes us uniquely human. Small changes in genes can have profound effects. You share about 60% of your DNA with a banana. 60%. Strange, but true. All life on Earth is related, connected, through common ancestors. The basic mechanisms of life are universal. DNA, RNA, Proteins, the genetic code, is the same in all living things. A gene that codes for a particular protein in bacteria uses the same code as a gene in your cells. We are all expressions of the same language, variations on the same fundamental design. Only about 2% of your DNA codes for proteins. 2%. The rest used to be called junk DNA. But it's not junk. Much of it regulates when and where genes are turned on. Your genes are like a cookbook, but you don't use every recipe. Not all the time. Some recipes are only used during development. Some only in specific organs. The non-coding DNA is like the instructions for when to use each recipe, the regulatory elements that control gene expression. Without it, every cell would be the same, but with it, you have heart cells, brain cells, liver cells, all with the same DNA, but expressing different genes. Your genes are not your destiny. You inherit genes from your parents, but whether those genes are active depends on your environment, your experiences, your choices. This is called epigenetics, chemical marks that attach to your DNA that turn genes on or off. These marks can be influenced by stress, diet, exercise, even by your thoughts and emotions. And remarkably, some epigenetic marks can be passed to your children. Your experiences can literally change your DNA and affect future generations. You are not just a product of your genes. You are a product of your life. Every cell in your body contains a complete copy of your DNA. Every cell, skin cells, blood cells, liver cells, all carry the same genetic information, the full instruction manual. In theory, you could create a whole new you from a single cell. This is cloning, taking the DNA from one cell and growing a new organism. It's been done with animals. Dolly the sheep, the first cloned mammal. Proof that every cell carries the complete blueprint. You are, in every part of yourself, complete, whole. Your body temperature fluctuates throughout the day. Not much, just a degree or two, but enough to matter. Your temperature is lowest in the early morning, around 4 or 5 a.m. It rises through the day, peaks in late afternoon or early evening, then falls again at night. This rhythm is part of your circadian cycle, your internal clock. It affects not just temperature, but hormone levels, alertness, performance. You are not the same. At all times of day, you change, subtly, following ancient rhythms. You spend about 1/3 of your life sleeping. 1/3. If you live 80 years, you'll sleep for about 26 or 27 years. That seems like a waste, doesn't it? All that time, unconscious, unproductive. But sleep is not wasted time. During sleep, your brain consolidates memories, clears out waste, repairs damage. During sleep, your body produces growth hormone, regenerates tissues, strengthens your immune system. Without sleep, you would die faster than you would from starvation. Sleep is essential, as important as food, as water. You cycle through different stages of sleep: light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. Each stage has different brain activity, different purposes. Deep sleep is when your body repairs itself, when growth hormone is released, when tissues regenerate. REM sleep is when you dream, when your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, makes connections. You cycle through these stages every 90 minutes or so, 4 to 6 cycles per night. Right now, you're drifting, moving towards sleep. Let yourself go. Trust your body to do what it needs to do. Your eyes move during REM sleep. Rapid eye movement. That's what REM stands for. During this stage, your eyes dart back and forth beneath your closed lids. Why? No one knows for certain. Perhaps they're following the action in your dreams. Perhaps it's random neural activity, but it's consistent, reliable, a sign that you're dreaming. Your body, during REM sleep, is paralyzed temporarily to prevent you from acting out your dreams, from moving when you shouldn't. Sometimes this paralysis lingers. You wake but can't move. Sleep paralysis. It's harmless but can be frightening. Your body protecting you, even in ways you don't always understand. You dream every night, even if you don't remember. Most dreams are forgotten within minutes of waking. They slip away like mist in the morning. Only dreams from REM sleep are usually remembered, and only then, if you wake during or shortly after REM. Dreams are strange, illogical, emotional. They blend memories, create impossible scenarios, mix past and present. What do they mean? Maybe nothing. Maybe they're just your brain processing, sorting information, making sense of the day. Or maybe they're more. Messages from your subconscious, symbols, stories your mind tells itself. Either way, dreams are part of you, part of being human. Your growth hormone is released primarily during sleep, especially deep sleep. This hormone stimulates growth, repairs tissues, builds muscle, strengthens bones. Children need more sleep than adults because they're growing. Their bodies require more growth hormone, more repair time. Even as an adult, sleep is when your body heals, recovers from the day, prepares for tomorrow. Athletes know this. They prioritize sleep because that's when muscles repair, when strength increases. Rest is not laziness. It's essential for health, for performance, for life. Touch is your first sense to develop. In the womb, long before you could see or hear, you could feel. Your skin, sensitive to pressure, to warmth. Touch is how you first experienced the world, how you connected to your mother, how you learned about your body. And touch remains essential throughout life. Studies show babies who are not touched fail to thrive. Adults who lack touch experience depression, anxiety. We need physical connection. It's wired into us. A basic human need. A hug, a handshake, a gentle pat on the back. These simple touches carry meaning, comfort, connection. Your sense of touch is not uniform across your body. Some areas are more sensitive than others. Your fingertips, your lips, your tongue. These have more nerve endings, can detect finer details. Your back is less sensitive, cannot detect fine textures, but can sense pressure, temperature, pain. This variation is functional. Your hands need sensitivity to manipulate objects, to feel texture. Your back doesn't need that level of detail. It just needs to know when something is there, when something is wrong. Every part of your body is designed for its purpose. Pain is protective. It warns you, tells you to stop, to pull away. Without pain, you would injure yourself constantly. People with rare genetic conditions who can't feel pain often die young. They break bones, burn themselves without knowing. Pain teaches you, tells you what's dangerous, what to avoid. But chronic pain is different. Pain that serves no purpose, that continues long after the injury is healed. This is suffering, not protection. The system malfunctioning. Pain is complex, physical, emotional, psychological. It's not just a signal from your nerves. It's an experience shaped by your mind.